All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's a wonderful morning over here. This is 12:45 a.m. Nigerian time, and it's going to be an amazing session. We'll be discussing just briefly about how to create wealth in real estate using as a young person real estate investment strategies that can help young people create wealth. So wherever you're joining from, I'd like for you to share with as many persons as possible. Share with two persons, share with three persons, share with four persons, share with five persons. So I know it's late in the morning, or it's early in the morning rather. This is 12:46 right now, and I know a lot of persons will be on their bed as we speak and things like that. So if you are live, kindly share with other persons so they can join the session as well. You can share with other persons so they can as well join the session. Yeah, so I want to say a very big welcome to everyone. Welcome to our session today. Good to have you all here. The goal is very simple, is to impact as many persons as possible on different real estate investment strategies that can also help them create wealth and things like that. So that's one of the major things that we will be discussing here. If you're just getting to meet me, my name is Abel Victor Timipamo-owei. I'm a real estate investment strategist, business development manager, and coach as well. I mentor people on real estate, coach people on talent delivery, talent discovery, and many other things like that. That's a combination of what I do. And we are here to discuss profitable real estate investment strategies that young people can practically put into practice to help them become very successful at what they do or in any area that they find themselves, particularly for young people that are looking at starting out real estate investment that don't know how to go about their investment strategies and things like that. So this webinar, this live session is going to be sharing more light on how young people can practically start investing in real estate and creating streams of wealth for themselves. Now, I was having a conversation um, with my general managing director, Mr. Laide Lawal. He's someone I love and value so much. We were having a conversation about um, wealth creation streams, right? And there was something that he said that really struck my mind. And I'm like, oh no, this is so much important that it needs to go out there in the world. Like a lot of people need to know about these things. A lot of people need to hear about things like this. It's not just about having opportunities where people get to play and things like that, but hearing very important and vital information. And one of the things he said is that it is only what you practice that has effect in your life. What you practice is what has effect in your life. Now, this is so valuable because I I actually tend to take a look at things like this, and I said there is also something I said that in one of my coaching sessions with one of my students, I told them that it is what you put your focus on that you are able to get the best from. Your mind is your greatest asset. The mind of every man is the greatest asset, and what you place your mind on is what you become. What you focus your mind on is what you eventually become. Same way with what the conversation I was having with my boss, Mr. Lady, and he said that it is what you practice that has effect in your life. So as young people, if you practice the habit of owning properties, of investing in real estate, investing in profitable ventures, that is eventually what you're going to become. As time goes by, as you are putting that act into practice, you eventually become that person. You eventually become a person of value. Now, some persons will say, oh, I don't have enough money. I don't have. You can always start small and build the discipline to be consistent at it. You can start small and build the discipline to be consistent at it. But what the message that I want you to what I want you to practically take away from this session is that it is what you practice that eventually has effect in yourself. What you practice that eventually becomes your a part and parcel of you. Not everybody is having access or privy to opportunities where they get information on real estate investment strategies. But for you as an individual or you as a young person, one key way you can do this is by moving yourself from a circle where the conversations are not always about property purchases, and then putting yourself in circles where you are discussing important topics, now. There is also something that there was something that we were discussing in the office the other day, and it really made a lot of sense to me. The average Nigerian is one sickness away from poverty. The average Nigerian, or let's say the average Nigerian is just one sickness away from poverty. And how can this really take effect or take play in the life of the youth? That's because not everybody builds a system where they are able to either save some portion of what they are earning or invest some portion of what they are earning. Because of course, real estate investment is so powerful that in the rainy days, your investment can also save you. Now, I know real estate is not as liquid as other forms of investment like crypto, the forex market, and the likes. But in your rainy days, it is your property, it is the asset that you have that can actually come into play to save you from that. Now, if you align this thing with the fact that the average Nigerian is just one sickness away from poverty, you'll be able to see that a lot of balance needs to be put in place when it comes to how humans really operate, right? Now, I would like for us to go straight into our conversation and the essence of today's session, which is investment strategies, profitable investment strategies for the young adults, or investment strategies that young adults can take on to help them grow into building wealth and becoming the better person that they ever envisioned to become. Now, when a lot of young people, let me even still bring out this point. A lot of young people are afraid of investing. A lot of young people are afraid of investing. Why is that? I literally don't know. But in some cases, or in most cases, we have seen scenarios where people will say, I don't want to invest my money in something that I do not know. I don't want to invest my money in real estate in a location that I am not even staying. Now, some of all of these ideologies may have come from the place of lack. Then some persons is also then yes, from the place of lack, either lack of knowledge, lack of access to the right information, or lack of mentorship. Either lack of knowledge, lack of access to the right people, um, or mentorship. Now, if you are able to get any of these things, you will see that life will become much more different for you. Life would become much more different for you. There is the unintentional or intentional feeling that now this is for young people. Some of them are afraid of investing because there is this feeling that if they let go of what they have, it will be difficult for them to be able to get it back. if they let go of what they have, it will be difficult for them to get it back. But whereas, if you look at it in much more technical details, it is much different. It is way different, right? Because when it comes to property investments, real estate, and other profitable ventures, when you when you put your money to work, that money that has gone out to work comes back to you again in multiple folds. Now, coming back to you in multiple folds is coming as a profit from the risk of investment that you have taken. Do you understand? Now it comes back to you as profit from the risk of investment that you have taken. That's practically what taking risk actually is. But not everybody, particularly young people, not all young people are willing to take risk. Not all young people are much interested in wanting to go the extra mile. Now, how do you break free from this thing? Now, before we move forward to the investment strategies, I'd like to talk about how you can break free from the mindset of lack, because the mindset of lack is one of the things that is drawing a lot of people really backward. Now, how do you move from the mindset of lack to the place of abundance and investment? Number one is to learn to let go and trust that when you open up your mind to let go, you will receive more. This is practical. Learn to let go and trust that when you open up your mind to let go of what you have, more is going to come for you. Now, let's put it into context. When you put your money to work, money loves speed. Money loves speed, and those persons who are able to understand that money is not an item, or is not a tool that stays stagnant, those are persons that will become much more wealthier than those persons who overthink and evaluate a lot before putting their money to work. Now, let me emphasize this again. For you to be able to break free from the mindset of lack and move into that of abundance and investment, you have to develop the ability to see that when I give this money out into this venture, when I put this money out to work, it is going to give me returns on investment. Now, another thing you need to do is that you need to take away the fear of losing money. The fear of losing money. The fear of losing money is limiting you from creating wealth opportunities. The fear of losing money. Come on, let me tell you, investments are actually in two ways. It's a risky game, but real estate investment is much more less riskier than the other forms of investment like the stocks, gold, cryptocurrency, and the rest. Those other forms of investment are even much more volatile than real estate investment. Those other investments are much more volatile because just one market news can drop down, can change the market narrative. But in real estate, any news that comes up also gives it an avenue for it to appreciate in value. Now, a lot of us even know about inflation and how inflation helps property values to appreciate, just like and help, yeah, and make individuals very, very wealthy. That's exactly how less risky real estate investment are. So learn to let go of the fear of losing money, because that's going to keep you in the place of lack. So once you're able to conquer that feeling of losing money, it will plug you into another dimension. It will plug into another realm of being able to receive the abundance that is meant to come to you. Now, another way to come out and break free from the mindset of lack is that you should focus more on actually investing than even just being there. Focus more, learn to place much more of your focus on the profitability of the investment you're about to do than just being there. You understand? I want to say a very big welcome to everyone on the session today. I know it's middle of the night and some persons are sleeping. Whatever you are watching from, I want to say a very big thank you for joining the session. I hope you'll be able to get value from the session tonight. Now, we are talking about the place of lack and how to come out of lack into the mindset of abundance and investment. Now, three strategies I mentioned. I said learn to let go and believe that what you've let go is going to get you returns on investment. The next one is to let go of losing money. And then the third one is to focus more on the profitability than what you will be losing from the investment that you will be taking. Now, there's what we call optimism and pessimism. Now, somebody who is very very focused on making profits or profit from the investment that they are about to take should have the mind of an optimist as against having the mind of a pessimist. Now, if you are able to be very optimistic that what I want to do, this risk I'm about to take, is going to profit me, is going to make me wealthy, it's going to make things much better and wealthy for me, it will help you upscale fast. It will help you, it will help you to be able to analyze and take more better risk. Now I know why I say this. A lot of my friends, I've said this several times. My friends called me um, um, a blindly optimistic person, because my kind of person, I can go extra mile to invest my time, my energy, my soul into what I believe will work for me, right? Once I have seen the industry, I have analyzed it, and I'm like, no, this sector, I can get the best from it. I'll put in my all into that sector, and I will ensure that I get the very best from it. So pessimism feels smarter and safer and even secure, just as though someone is trying to help you. When you are being pessimistic about something, it feels very safe. It feels safe to be pessimistic. Oh, the idea looks as though somebody is helping you. The idea is looking as though they are trying to pet you into doing it. But that's not how it ought to be, particularly with your investment. You need to take the approach of an optimistic person. You are saying, I am taking this risk today. Whatever is going to be the outcome, I know is as a result of the decision that I have taken. You know is as a result of the decision that you've made. You understand? So you're not in a space where you are trying to blame it on somebody and say, "Oh, you're the one that made me do this. You're the one that made me do that." But you are taking that decision from the standpoint of the fact that you are giving it your all. You understand? So being optimistic is a very boring thing. To be optimistic about something is very boring, because sometimes it feels like you are praying that you shouldn't make the wrong decision. Then some other time you are very very sure of the decision that you've made, and things like that. So the two mindset of investors that I just mentioned now is that of the optimistic investor and the pessimistic investor. So you want to be the investor that is very very optimistic about their investment strategies, right? You want to be optimistic about your investment goal. Now let's talk about um and now we've been able to solidify having the right mindset, trying to place a balance on where the mind of a youth should actually be. Why is this important? I had to put all of these things at the forefront, because as young adults, as youths, it's important that you are able to start seeing things differently. It's important that you should start seeing things in a much more different light as against other persons. Not everybody is optimistic, but you can be optimistic. Not everybody wants to invest and have a better future, but you can have a better future. Now, when it comes to real estate investment, I know that a lot of persons are somewhat confused on how to go about it, how to build wealth in real estate and things like that. So I'm going to be talking about real estate frontiers in Nigeria to invest as a youth, real estate frontiers to invest. Now, when we say real estate frontiers, we are talking about locations that young adults should look at when investing in real estate. I was having a conversation with my colleagues in the office the other day where we were discussing about places that they can invest in Nigeria, and I pointed out a few places for them to invest in. Now, I'll also be talking about that in the comment section, in this session rather. I'm going to be talking about real estate frontiers, locations in Nigeria to invest as a Nigerian. Now, number one location on the list is Lagos State. Lagos State. Invest, you see, I tell a lot of young people, right? When you want to invest, when you're looking at owning properties, try to take away sentiment from it. I know you are not from Lagos. I know you are not from Abuja. I know you're not from Port Harcourt. I know you are from Cross Rivers. But try to take away that sentiment from your mind. Try to take that away, because the moment you allow that to cloud your mind, you are limiting yourself from getting the possible best from the investment that you ought to from the return on investment that you ought to make. That's exactly what you're doing to yourself. So I would advise you that you take away sentiment from it. See, I've encountered a lot of young people. I've told them, okay, come invest in XYZ location, and they're like, oh, I'm not from Lagos. I will smile. The moment I hear something like that, I'll just smile. I'll be like, if only you understand what you are saying. So, the number one frontier for investing in Nigeria is Lagos State. Now, why Lagos State? Lagos State is the business hub of Africa. Lagos State is the business hub of Africa. If you check very well, of recent, we had the Lagos State hosted the first ever E1 boat electric boat racing event here in Lagos, and that attracted a lot of foreigners, tourists into Lagos State. Now, when these people are coming into Lagos State, I'm using that event as a scenario. When these people come into Lagos State, where do you think they stay? Where do you think they stay? Now, that's one. Let's talk about hospitality. Now, hospitality, tourism, short-let apartments, business hub of Africa, central business districts, developmental strides, and all of these things that I just mentioned are happening exactly here in the city of Lagos. So, let me give you a secret. Even if it's one plot of land that you are able to buy in an outskirts, let's say in a or in somewhere around what are they calling it now, in Ikorodu or the likes, you are practically on another level in the next 5, 6, 7, 10 years. You are practically on another level entirely. So the very moment you buy a property in Lagos, you are a millionaire. Now, not to even say that, okay, you're already an established millionaire and then you are buying property in a very prime location in Lagos. Obviously, the moment you make that decision, you are a billionaire. Why am I saying this? Because the influx of humans, of people into the city of Lagos, according to research have it that over 6,000 persons relocate to Lagos. And out of those 6,000 persons, 3,000 of them stay back in Lagos. What are they doing? What are they doing? They believe Lagos is a land of opportunity. And of course, Lagos is a land of opportunity filled with a lot of good things, filled with a lot of good tidings. In Lagos, you are able to meet people, you are able to mingle with Asian eyes, you are able to meet with young, brave, and smart people. So, I was also telling somebody, I said, every bridge, every flyover, every new bridge that the Lagos state government creates or builds is creating a home for a Nigerian that is homeless. Do you believe this? Now, take a look at this. If you are from the numbers that we discussed about, right? Over over 6,000 persons moving into Lagos, and out of those 6,000 persons, you are having 3,000 of them not going back from where they are coming to where they are coming from. So that's to tell you that there is a need. There is a need, particularly in the real estate sector, because there is obviously going to be the need of houses, either commercial, residential, industrial. Mention it. Now, when it comes to residential, there is obviously going to be the need for places that people will stay, houses for people to live in. You understand? So all of these things are very, very important. These are paramount things that people need to like take note of when it comes to investing in Nigeria. So we are talking about the frontiers of real estate investments when it comes to Nigeria. And one of the frontier we discussed about is Lagos. Now the second one is Port Harcourt. Now, Port Harcourt is actually very is coming up, and one of the reasons why this is very, very paramount is because of the presence of the oil and gas, tech, and the coastal terrain. So all of these things that I just mentioned is attracting a lot of foreign investments to come into those places. Now, let's talk about the third one. The third one is Abuja. Now, Abuja is also a frontier, a good frontier for real estate investment because you have prime and luxury developments in those places. Let's talk about the fourth one. The fourth frontier or the fourth location to look at when you want to invest in real estate is Ibadan. Now, why Ibadan, you may be asking? Ibadan is one of the biggest cities in western part of Nigeria, or if not even Western Africa, and it is known for its agricultural developments, residential developments, and commercial developments that are springing forth or springing up in the recent years. Now, all these developments are helping properties to appreciate as fast as they can. So you are as an individual, you want to start positioning yourself in places like this. Now, let me even expatiate more on Abel in on Ibadan. You see the number of people coming into Lagos, right? Is a lot of number. Now, out of this number of persons that are coming into Lagos, we have we have over we have over 3,000 of them staying back in and out of these persons staying back in Lagos, we have a situation where because of the influx of people in Lagos State, people are now migrating to other neighboring states. People are now moving to neighboring states. Now we have one of our estates, Harmony Hills, strategically located very close to the Omeo Adio train station. Now, let's say you are an individual living in or working in Lagos, and you have your building or your house or your apartment in um in Ibadan. Now, with the easy access of the train station, you can always visit Ibadan without having to stress yourself, without having to even go through a whole lot of difficulties and the likes. You understand? So, neighboring states like Ibadan is also a very good place that people can move to, people can invest in, and you can watch out for these locations to invest in this location. The tourism in Ibadan is on another level. Tourism in Ibadan is on another level. So positioning yourself to earn profitably in these locations are one of the great things that's going to help you get benefits when it comes to real estate investment. Now, let's now quickly talk about the real estate investment strategies that will help you create wealth in Nigeria. Real estate investment strategies to create wealth in Lagos, in Nigeria, in anywhere you find yourself. Now, number one strategy is the land banking strategy. Number one strategy is the land banking strategy. I know this is land banking is one of the oldest forms of real estate investment. In fact, it started from time immemorial. Land banking started from time immemorial. A lot of persons that started, our forefathers, our great great grandfathers have already started buying lands
investing in lands and things like that. In fact, one of the things that was a measure for how wealthy a man is the amount of land he has, the vast acres of land that he has. Those are part of the things that people use to measure how wealthy a person is. Those are the things that people use to measure how wealthy an individual is. You understand? So land banking is very simple. Land banking is simply buying a plot of land or buying acre of land, keeping it for a period of time, a period of 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, which is you are buying it, you are holding on to that land. When development comes to that area, you resell at a higher price. You then resell at a much more higher price. Now, I will be talking about the different investment strategies when it comes to land banking, because you just don't want to jump on any land, right? You don't want to just jump on any kind of land to buy. So, what are the parameters to watch out for when it comes to land banking investment? Parameters to watch out for when it comes to land banking investment. Number one parameter is for you to watch out for areas where they have earmarked a university going. Now, if they tell you a university is coming to a particular location, come on, go there and buy land. There is this popular saying that you should go to where people are in demand before people come there, or go to a particular location before others come there. Because the moment you get to that place, you settle in that place, you own that place, you are able to attract people. That's how you build wealth. You're able to attract people to that location. That is exactly how you build wealth. I want to say thank you to everyone joining in the session. It's I know this was somewhat impromptu. We didn't really plan on doing this, and then I just feel it in my spirit to come up to have this session here today. So if you are here in the middle of the night joining this session, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Now I'm talking about the parameters to watch out for when it comes to land banking investment. Parameters to watch out for. The first one I said, look for where a school is going to. Now, if they tell you a school is coming to this location, come on, hurry up, buy the land from that place. Now, the next parameter to watch out for is a place where it has been earmarked for airports to come in. Now, when they tell you a airport is coming to this location, rush that land. Rush, when I say rush that land, because in the nearest future, there are massive developments you can do in that place. In the nearest future, there are massive developments you can do in that place. You can lease out that land to people, to multinationals, so they can develop some kind of massive infrastructures for hospitality and things like that. But who owns the land? It is you. You understand? It is you. So the second parameter to watch out for is for you to watch out for locations that has been earmarked for airport development. The moment they tell you that there is an expressway passing through this location, please buy that land. Buy that land. I know what I'm telling you. Now, the scenario of the coastal road that everybody is running away from, it came up. Now, the coastal road is here to stay. The Lagos Calabar coastal road, it is here to stay. And I know that there were times where people were telling other persons, oh, there is going to be a coastal road along this place. Other smart investors were going there to buy those lands. But other persons, they are just they are like, oh, the land is that road is not even going to come. It will take another 50 years before they will do it. Even if they tell you that the project is stated for 20 years time, it is better you are early enough to go to that location, secure your plot in that location, than for you to let go of that opportunity. You understand? It is better you go secure your plot in that location than for you to let go of that opportunity. Now, I was having a conversation with someone. I needed him to come buy a plot at Harmony Hills Estate, and I was telling him the proximity of Harmony Hills Estate to the Omiadio train station, and I was trying to make him see beyond what he was seeing. I was trying to make him see beyond what he was seeing because in his mind, why should people go to Ibadan when there is Lagos? But of course, I mentioned before earlier in this session, Lagos is already becoming congested and people are now moving towards the neighboring states. People are moving to places that are sharing close proximity to Lagos. So why shouldn't you be investing in those places? Why? You understand? So the moment they tell you that a road is passing through this place or this there's going to be a federal road in this area, go there and secure your plot in that place. That will be one of the biggest blessing that you ever do for yourself. So that's that. Another parameter is that when there is a factory that is coming to that location, is a good deal for land banking. Now, what did I say about land banking? Land banking is simply a strategy where you buy a plot of land, you keep it for a particular period of time for the land to appreciate in value, and then you resell it to get what we call capital gains. Yeah, sorry about that. I needed to dehydrate. Now, let's talk about the second profitable way to invest in real estate. The second profitable way to invest in real estate is to invest in off-plan projects, off-plan properties. Now, this may require a lot of capital. I understand that very well. I know a lot of young people are already running away, but I know the second strategy is via off-plan strategy. Now, what is off-plan? Off-plan is simply buying into the vision of a development that is coming somewhere. Now, let's say somebody tells you he wants to develop units of apartments in a particular location. He wants you to come and invest now that he's still at is the project is still at the ideation stage. He wants you to come and invest, and he's starting out that project at, let's say, 40 million naira. And the projection for the sale of that project after the completion of development is going to be 180 million naira or 140 million naira. That's massive profit for you on capital gains, right? Because you literally didn't do anything with your money. You just gave your money to a developer and say, take, go and develop this property. When you are done, you give me my profit. That's simply what off-plan property means. So off-plan property gives you the avenue for you to earn capital gains by over 100 to 300%. By over 100 to 300%. Let me give you a real life scenario. Now, the Goldmark residence, when we started this project, I think a few months ago, we started that project around 40 million naira thereabout. We had our first investor that came in, and now the project is now selling at 152 million naira. Does that make any sense to you? What are the things that made the price of that property go up like that? Number one, inflation. The inflation in Nigeria as at 2024, inflation rate was on the high side as at 2024. So that was one of the major driver for the price and the increase in price of the gold mark resident. Another thing is that the cost of materials for building the project, cost of materials skyrocketed. I think it was in 2024 that we experienced the situation where the price of cement went from about 4,000 to 5,000 naira there, about up to 8,000. You understand? So that's massive, right? That's massive. If you are learning something, please type out in the comment section. I am learning, I'm getting value. Type out in the comment section, I'm getting value, so I can know that we are together and you're learning something from the session. I want you to type in the comment section, I am getting value. I'm getting value. Thank you so much. Now, I was talking about off-plan projects now, and I also gave us a scenario where our first investor at the Goldmark residence made very massive profit on his project and on the project that we're developing rather, without him having to do anything. Two things you need to check in in before investing in an off-plan development. Number one is the credibility of the developer. Credibility of the developer. Is this developer very credible? Can I really trust this developer with my money? That's one thing you want to check for. Another thing you want to check for is the delivery time frame. Now, the credibility ought to cover for this because, of course, if somebody is credible, they will be able to stand by their word, right? So, credibility is also another thing that you want to check out for. Now, in trying to look for the best off-plan properties to invest in, I will still advise that you look at investing in Lagos because Lagos is the business hub of Africa, and at every single point, every single development that comes into light, it is solving the problem of housing. It is solving a housing problem. You understand? It is solving a housing problem. So you want to look at very important locations because of course location is king. Of course location is king. Of course location is very important, right? So you don't want to joke with the location with which you are going to be investing in the off-plan property. Off-plan property gives you avenue for you to get what we call capital gains. Off-plan property gives you avenue where you get to earn capital gains. Now, the capital gains could be 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, depending on inflation and also depending on the delivery timeline and other things like that. Now, let's move on to the next one. The next profitable way to invest in real estate is what I call the short-let rental income. Short-let rental income. Now, if you check very well, check the industry, you will understand that a lot of people, as they are moving into Lagos State, not everybody wants somewhere that they can stay in, right? Not everybody wants to own the property and say, this is my property. Not everybody wants to do that. Not everybody also wants to lodge in the hotels because, of course, the hotels are limiting, right? But in an Airbnb apartment, you are given a license or you are opportune to be able to own apartments that will give you steady cash flow. Steady cash flow. That's what apartments or short-let apartments will do for you. It gives you a venue for you to earn passive stream of income. That's what shortlet business investment model actually does for you. That's what it does for you. So when it comes to the locations that you can actually do your investments, I was actually practically talking about the shortlet investment locations that you want to watch out for. Particularly, let's say you want to do yours in Lagos State. Number one location is Lekki. Look for a very good area in the city of Lekki. Look for a good place in Ajah. Look for a good place in Victoria Island, and then do your development there. You're going to get good returns from your investment, right? So I've discussed about three profitable ways to invest in real estate. Number one, land banking. Number two, off-plan property. Number three, short-let rental, short-let income. Now, short-let rentals can give you, as an investor, the opportunity to be able to earn on a daily basis. On a daily basis. That's what um that's what short-let apartment actually does for you. And if you have a system and structure that is put out in place, it can help them manage everything very well in a way that nobody is affected, but rather you're getting much more higher returns on your investment. Now, the next one is what we call real estate investment partnership. Now, this part I love it so much. If you check the industry, you will understand that a lot of developments are way higher than the budget of the young adult. It's way higher than the budget of a mid or mid-income earner in Nigeria. So what would we do? We will call it real estate investment partnerships. Now, this gives avenue for people to come together, pool their funds together, and then they use it to invest in a profitable venture. And the dividends and the dividends that comes from that land, they are able, or the dividend that comes in from that investment, they are able to share it amongst themselves, and everybody goes home happy. Everybody goes home what? Happy. So you don't have to break the banks. When I say investing in real estate, you don't have to break the banks for you to invest in real estate. You don't have to break the banks, right? So you can come together with other persons. You can come together with like-minded persons and say, okay, this is what I want to do. I want you to come on board with me. How much can you bring? Bring 2,000, bring 4 million, bring your 4 million, bring your 4 million. Join all the friends, or the very reasonable friends that you have in your circle. Everybody comes together, pull funds together, and then you go to invest in a very profitable venture. Now, it could be that you are buying a land, or it could be that you are investing in short-let rentals. But either way, is anyone that practically works better and fine for you. Now, the last real estate investment strategy that I want to talk about is the real estate property flipping. Now, property flipping basically is looking for an apartment or a building project that is just there. Now, you buy it below the market value, you make some finishing touches to it, and then you resell it for a higher price after you've completed that development. That's what that's the basic thing that real estate property flipping is. So you buy an old property, you renovate it, and then you sell it off. Now, progress is about compounding. Now we are talking about profitability here. Now, progress is about compounding, innovation, and growth is quiet. Growth is quiet, it is steady, but yet it is unstoppable. Why did I say growth is quiet? Now, some persons, when they buy a piece of land, every single person knows. When they buy a plot of land, every single person knows. Why is it that way? You ought not to do like that. Now, progress, like I mentioned before, is compounding and innovative in growth. And it is very quiet. The wealthy people don't make noise about things that they own, right? But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't own any. Now, there are two mindsets before I wrap up. There are two mindsets that I would like to discuss on. The mindset of getting rich, and also the mindset of staying rich. Now, for you to get rich, you need to take very bold steps. Now, for you to stay consistent, you need caution, right? You need caution in everything I do. Now, when it comes to having the mindset of being a wealth creator, you should be having the mindset of staying rich, because it is the most difficult part of the whole investment strategy, right? Now, the next one I want to talk about the idea of getting rich and staying rich is your ability to take risk. Now, for you to get rich, you take fewer risk, but for you to stay rich, you take more risk. You understand? So everything have its own ups and downs. Now, building wealth is about um, it's not about offending other persons, but it's about keeping it all defensive. Building wealth keeps you all defensive. It makes you very strong, makes you very solid at what you're doing, and you're not confused or anything. Now, compounding isn't just about learning or earning high returns, it's about learning good returns from um, for a long time. Now, I always advise young people, yeah, if you are pulling funds together, try as much as you can not to be sentimental when it comes to the plans of every other person in that group, right? And when it comes to owning property, one of the best ways you can get the very best from your land banking investment is through compounding. So compounding is that you've bought one plot before, oh, let me buy another plot. Oh, let me buy another plot. Before you know it, in the year, you're already owning four plots or four lands or four properties to yourself. Financial freedom isn't about having more. Listen to this. Financial freedom is not only about having more, but needing less. That's what financial freedom is. Financial freedom gives the ability to need less. Now, why am I saying needing less? Needing less is strictly very simple. At that time, it gives you the ability to think, it gives you the opportunity to meet people and things like that. So, you need to understand that financial freedom isn't about having more fun, but it is about having the right um, investment model that you can go with. So who you become when things go wrong is part of the things that shapes you. So you must master the habit, master the attitude, master the act of always wanting to be that person, that strong individual that is willing to take risk no matter what. Now let's talk about 5 levels of security that every man must have control over. Every man, as a man, these are the 5 secrets or 5 securities that you need to have. The first one is financial security. For you to get financial security, depending on your investment model, either um, either via land banking or via passive stream of income. Financial security is very important. The next one is emotional security. The third one is family security, and then the fourth one is what we call relationship um, um, relationship security. Yes, that's what I was trying to look for. I don't know why it actually escaped my mind at this point, but I was looking for that word called relationship security. So you might want to also have this. There's what we call family security too, the job and career security, and also relational security. When we say relational security, is how you're able to discuss with people, how you're able to navigate life with people and things like that. That's a very proper skill that you might want to learn. So, in summary, I'm just going to take down everything that we've discussed again today. In summary, 5 profitable ways to invest in real estate. Number one, you do that via land banking. Number two, off-plan properties. Number three, um, number three, short-let rentals income. The number four one is real estate investment partnership. So this one you call your friends, 4, 5, 10 friends together. You guys put funds together and then invest. Then the fifth one is property flipping, where you are able to buy a piece of land, you flip it over, and you make profit. So with all of these strategies, I want to believe that somebody is leaving this room impacted and empowered, and I hope to see you on the other side of greatness. Now, my name is Abel Victor Timipamo-owei. I'm a real estate investment consultant and coach. And if you are out there looking for the right real estate investment property to own, we'll be glad that you reach out to us via the number showing on in the chat box. You see the number showing in the chat box, 636765999. So I'm going to call the number out as well, 070. If you're looking at investing in any property, kindly reach out to us. If you are interested in buying lands or investing in short let apartments, kindly reach out to us, 070-6367-6599. Um, and we'll be able to take it up from there. I am also creating a community of like minded individuals. Now, this is very, very important. Listen to me. I am creating a community of like minded individuals that don't have the lump sum of amount of money to invest, but have the ability to contribute funds with other persons for them to own a property. So that's what I have been developing or working on, and we are expected that once you reach out to us, we'll be able to do much more greater and better things together. So I want to say a very big welcome and look forward to having you on board with us. So if you are interested, if you're looking at investing in real estate, if you're looking at starting out your Airbnb property and you need someone to manage it, and we'll see you at the other side of greatness. Cheers.